Good morning and welcome to day one of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships, coming to you from Tasmania, Hobart, Tasmania. The first game for today is Hello Newman out of, where are they from? Victoria, should know that one. And Vanguard out of South Australia. Vanguard have pulled. Hello Newman going to be receiving, and it'll be Tony Castigrano to pick up the pull. Throws to Jeff Grundy. Looks like a matched defense from Vanguard, and it's the first turn of the game. So we're going to see Vanguard come out now and have an early shot at getting the break. Baddix, big hand block by David Knight. Baddix looked to break on the flick side. David said, "Nup." Dave Knight with the disc now, looking flick, looks to Liraman, can't get free. David doesn't look at his dump, instead goes to Grundy. And there's going to be a contested up call. Baddix involved. I'm sure everyone who knows Andy will be shocked to hear that Baddix is involved in the call. And it looks like we can't make a decision. So David Knight's going to get an opportunity to engage his dump for a change, maybe. Baddix, DK, nice leading pass to Castigrano. Newman streaming open. Castigrano wasn't confident in the throw-up win, but DK is. David Knight jacks it long to Greff. Great sit for Greff. He's just outside the end zone. He's going to look to Katie Newman. The team is named after Katie Newman. And I think that's a turn, yeah. So Katie Newman couldn't get her hands underneath it, unfortunately. Vanguard going to have another crack at the break, bringing it in this time from the close end zone cone. There is a little bit of wind kicking up. It will be a factor. It's coming from right to left on your screen. Baddix in now, decides the backhand's a better option. Sends it, it's a 2-on-1. Tony Castigrano's under it. Gets there in front of Anna Rosler. So Tony with the disc now. DK looking, DK electing not to put it this time. Chris Calaviotis looking, he wants to unload a flick again to Greff, and this time he puts it in the end zone. That's what you got to do, DK. A couple of metres more. So Hello Newman hold the first point of the match after a couple of turns, couple of puts. It's a long game. There is a bit of wind, but obviously the Hello Newman team not afraid to chance a hand. Grundy going deep twice in a row, not getting respected deep, and punishing Vanguard, who now will get an opportunity on O. So, Hello Newman starting with the up window, that's nice. Good separation from Nuno there from Jeff Grundy. Jodie Palmer with the pull. Vanguard lining up. Hands are up from the defensive side. And the pull goes up. Jodie pulling it. And it will be Ailsa entering Hawk, to Rex. Looks like a little bit of a junky look or a poachy look. Moving now into matched defense. Will on the mark. Rex breaks. Back to Ailsa. Ailsa and Rex at the moment. Back to Rex. Looking to run some kind of ISO. Baddix with it is now, and Baddix puts a big inside-out backhand. Jodie Palmer's going to get under it, she's going to get the sit, and Hello Newman get the turn. Timothy Wise with the disc now. Looking flick, gets a flick into the middle of the field to Christopherson. Probably whistled for it. Christopherson, nice little flick over to DK, and they've got some good flow now. Hudson with it on the far sideline. Looks the flick to Wise, and it looks like there's a pick called. All right, whilst we've got that pick discussion coming on, we're joined by Katie Newman.
Hello, hello.
The team is named after you, Katie. What can you tell us? Katie Newman, the team's named after you. How's that make you feel?
Yeah, pretty awesome. I think that means I'm famous, don't you think?
Yeah, well, it's a Seinfeld pun. Baddix there with a nice D. brings it back in again. He looks at the flick. DK stuck one out. Wisey there, but really nice grab, getting up high. Nuno's got it now. It was Bertrand Lee with a long grab. Elsa, no count, so she's going to take her time. Nuno looks on the open side. Nuno gets easy open side goal. Hello Newman can't capitalise on the break or on the turn. So Katie, Hello Newman, what's the go?
Yeah, so with this team every year, the team gets named after someone on the team. So first year it was Cron, and then Minescu, and then last year it was after the Wises boys. Yep. And now it's my turn.
Right, and obviously Hello Newman, a Seinfeld pun, so
it
naturally
is.
I have a lot of time for that.
Yes, yes, I know you do.
Yep,
I
yep.
live with you, so yeah.
Real professional stuff. Very good. And how's the preparation been for you guys? A lot of trainings, a lot of pre-games?
Yeah, you know it. Every weekend, getting out there, working hard, every night.
I think you're lying.
I think I might be just a little bit.
Right. I think this is probably the first time your team's picked up a disc since that.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, but I did go to the orthopedic surgeon on Monday.
Okay.
And I got the all clear for my knee. So
just because the team's named after you doesn't mean that the whole thing is about you.
I think it is.
Okay. All right, so 1-1. Thank you, Katie.
No worries. Thank you.
We'll catch ya.
All right, see ya.
Good luck for the tournament, Katie. All right, we've got Baddix with the hand up now. Pulling downwind. Nice pull if it's going to turn and stay in. It will. Reaches the end zone. Castigrano to Meehan. Meehan no mark. Nice cut up by Tim Wise. Tim Wise, it looks like a pretty sloppy vertical, but Tim, nice inside out break to Calaviotis. Calaviotis looks, he sticks a flick. It's Tony Castigrano underneath it. Tony can't get it. Oh, no. Almost bobbled back into his hand, but Nathan Dignam wore him really tight. Made Tony go early, reached behind him a little bit. So, a lot of turns in this game so far. Baddix going to the disc. Calaviotis marking him. Lee looks for the break. Goes to the break side, can't get on it. Goes to Wilson Tram. Wilson Tram back to Baddix. Baddix to Dignam. Brother of Michaela Dignam. Baddix, nice break flick, cannot connect. Really nice bid to try and save the disc by Wilson Tram, but can't get it. Grundy picks up, looks inside flick to Calaviotis. Calaviotis 5 minutes outside the end zone, inside out flick to Castigrano. They like the inside out flicks. 3 times on that point. Grundy, Wise, and someone else in there. Calaviotis, all with inside, really nice inside out break flicks. So, have to have a chat to the coach of Vanguard, Deslandis, and make sure he does something about that, because the disc is flowing very nicely out of Hello Newman's territory. That said, it's 2-1. Staying on serve. The team is elected to play. I believe the gender calling end is to our right. Ruben Berg and Anson Chun are our observers today. Ruben signalling that Hello Newman intend to play 4 gents for this point. All right. Hello Newman actually now with 7 on the field, which is handy. Sometimes it's the simple things in life that just are too hard. Hand up from the offensive end, waiting on it. Pulls up, nice hanging pull. It's going to make the middle of the end zone. Rex thinks twice about catching it, and it's rolling around now. So Rex got some work to do. Elsa back, the stack very deep. Rex throws a nice little floater. Looks like a junk look. No. Hello Newman just sending a lot of players down. Elsa gets fouled. I don't think there's going to be too much of a chat about that. Okay. Uncontested foul. Vanguard in a challenging position right now. Baddix looks to get free. Goes to Rex. Rex, really nice pickup. Being marked by Jody Palmer. Nice pickup by Rex. He's in the corner though, and there's a lot of work to do. Elsa goes up the line, doesn't get on it. then does. Really nice throw by Rex. The inside-out flick. Backhand. Ailsa, penned on the sideline, manages to get it off a little bit to Rex. Then back to Ailsa. They're working that one-on-one, that kind of give-go. Ailsa telling people what they should be doing. They're not doing what she wants. Rex then looks inside-out flick. Really nice to Dignam. That's opened the game right up. Back to Ailsa, Enting Hawk. Sorry. Looks again, back to Rex, back to Ailsa. It's going to sit up for Ailsa. Really nice flow. Takes a couple steps, nothing in it. But it's really Ailsa and Rex doing the lion's share here. Baddock's now getting involved with Wise marking him. He wants the inside flick. He wants the inside flick. Not going to get it. Goes around to Rex. Gets the swing off. No, Rex elects to hold. And there's the mark on now. Palmer marking. Nuno comes into the open side. Greff baits it. Doesn't get thrown. Wisey gets done by Baddocks, who gets it in. Wisey's calling the travel on him. Yep, and there we go. Baddocks on the sideline. Looks up the line. Toff comes in off it. Let it go. Dignam. Really good throw by Baddocks. The inside out, but Dignam gets hand blocked by Hudson. And Wisey's gone. Tim Wise is gone. Toffa's going to stick it. Toffa going to stick it. Hello, Newman. Got to get this for the break. Wisey's doing the hard work. Wisey gets it. Very nice play. Big time play to get the first break of the game there. Wisey, eyes lit up. Saw a nice big feed on offer. But I'm going to go here. Snuck out the back. Started going. Calaviotis sharp to it. These lads have played together for quite a few years. Calaviotis sticks it. And Tim Wise coming off a broken hip and an Achilles injury. Got to test both of them there. Calaviotis made him work for it. Nice grab by Rex there, Rex Johnson. I reckon Hudson got a little bit on that. Dignam, not happy. It was free. It was free. There was a really nice break side, but then Toffa with the flick. Wisey reeling it in. That is the downwind end, so that disc was coming away from him, but he still managed to grab it there. Very nice from Wise. That's the first break of the game. So now, Hello Newman will be pulling. Upwind, it's David Knight with the pull. Beautiful weather down here in Tasmania. God's country. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. As to whether it's going to stay like this the whole weekend, we're not sure. But Knight just lands it in. Ailsa and Rex Johnson going to be doing the lion's share. Now it looks like a junk look. DK is going to get done by Lee, I believe it is. Wilson Tran. Really nice streaming cut by Wilson Tran. Didn't give the zone a chance to set. Nuno with the disc now. It looks like they've transitioned into the into a one-on-one matchup. Ailsa. And then there's going to be a pick call on Bertrand Lee. So they're in one-on-one matchups now. Hello Newman. Ailsa with the disc being marked by Thornton. Wilson Tran gets a nice under on G. Ailsa looks to go up the line. Thornton covered it really well. Now Rex and Hudson does well there. I don't think Tran did Rex any favours in not putting that disc out to space, but Hudson did what he needed to do. And we're going to have David Knight now picking it up, putting it into the middle, puts it over Will's head, and Will has a bite at it, but didn't know whether to go or whether to wait. Ended up in no man's land, and Vanguard are going to have an opportunity to put this in right from the end zone line. It's Enting Hawk. Should be marked by Thornton. The force is away. Rex sitting back well behind the disc. Hudson not sure whether to poach in. Enting Hawk engages the dump now, engages Rex. Can't get it to him. Goes for the quick flick put on a stall 9, you'd imagine. And Nuno, picks it up. Nice little stall 9 goal. So Vanguard keep in touch. It's 2-2, but there is a break on the table with Hello Newman. So they'll be taking it from the downwind end.
Good commentary there, Maroney. You're doing well. Cracking game.
So as you can see, Knight just putting it a little bit high for Will. Wasn't sure whether to go first or run onto it, but his hand was already out. And from there was actually quite good defence from Hello Newman. I reckon that would have been a stall 8, stall 9, hit and hope. But apart from that, the one-on-one matchups in the end zone had worked pretty well for Newman, as well as the shutdown on the dump. So, good game playing out. It's tightened up a little bit. Joined by Tim Wise from Hello Newman.
Hello, Andrew.
Mike, can we get some love for the other set of for the other mic? Morning, Tim.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Good.
Good game today.
I wouldn't say
A tight one.
It's a good start.
3-2.
Yeah. Yep. So you've sent down a. Was that a zone look that you guys had there?
I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. But
very good.
I think we're going to be coming out with a bit of a horror.
Okay. Grundy with the disc. It is a horror. He's a man to know. Grundy looks, gets a
Good
break, black hand.
Good G.
G
G's
to
very good at moving it quickly.
To Tony. Tony in the inside. It goes again with the long flick. Calaviotis sitting under this one. It's just going to sit up inside the end zone. Toff manages to toe the line. I think that's a goal.
Very good.
Anson Chun tells me it is a goal. Lovely touch by Castrogano on the flick to Calaviotis, and you caught one of Calaviotis' goals yourself, Tim.
Yeah, I had to
made you
work for it.
It made you work. We'd made mention of your broken hip and Achilles and ankle
Thank you.
and everything.
Trying to bring it all together.
Well,
it's a bit early to be running and laying out, but you know.
Yeah, you got tested early.
We got there.
Yeah, very good. Vanguard indicating that they will play 4-man. From the right-hand side. Really nice put. Covers knew that the end zone line was near, so he gets the feet. Lots of contacts just before. Landed about 2 feet inside the end of the end zone.
So we're looking at Vanguard going to Wook, are we, Andy? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's word on the street.
Yep, they're looking very good. Probably a few more players to add, I would imagine, to the roster.
Who would you put on the roster?
Not sure at the moment, but they don't look like they've got too many more than probably 14 or 15 here. I'd say they'd probably, oh, there we go, 13. So we'd be looking at probably 20 for a Wook team, I imagine.
You would be irate, Wisey, if you were on a team with 20 people.
Yeah,
word on the street is you felt 3 blokes was too many.
Yeah.
Baddocks, lovely backhand put to Dignam. DK's going to have to work. He goes early.
Oh,
DK, really nice D.
Beautiful.
He had to go. He did go. To be fair, it was a decent put by Baddocks there, but that disc sitting up enough for David Knight to do something with it. So, Hello Newman, a chance to put a bit of breathing space between them and Vanguard. They look, Hudson, really nice throw to the break side, inside out flick again. Calaviotis looks to Hello Newman.
Oh, that's his partner.
Hello Newman.
It's a honey pass. We'll see a few more of those over the weekend, I imagine.
Now with Christopherson.
Great control,
Newman's
holding
free. Looks back to Calaviotis.
Back to the other honey pass.
And Calaviotis' lovely little
well.
flick to man. That's an upwind break. That's a big one.
Thank you for having me, Andy. I better go play a point.
Yes. See you later. Really great defense from David Knight. Had to get up early. He did. He got enough on it. Dignam trying to run onto it, but DK's a tall lad. Calaviotis, lovely little flick to Lyra Man. So 5-2, and I believe there's a timeout called. I imagine this is, it's 2, is it 2-4 or 2-5? It is 2-5. Both teams almost forming as one huddle. It's a bit odd. Production team bringing this fantastic event to you this weekend. Mike Palmer, Jack Lilwall, Fausto. I'm sorry, Fausto, I don't know your last name. Like, I wouldn't pronounce it anyway, yeah, okay. You could be like Bono. The Fausto. That sounds like a Seinfeld episode in itself. The Fausto. A little bit of wind starting to kick up. Yes, let's have a look at the scores to date. Or the ones that almost should have been scores, I guess. Mike really laying the boot into Mr. Dignam there, just playing this replay 17 times. Let's have a look at the scores. So, Tim Wise getting a chance to work out the entire lower body. It's probably the first time this year he's done that. He's a guy that skips leg day. Ailsa looking at a nice stall 8. Nuno chopping her out there. Still a very, very nice throw. Nuno, sorry. Yes, you're right. Yep. Castrogano. Lovely flick put. Calviotis toes the line to bring it in. And this is a score for 2-5. At which point Vanguard said, we need a minute, we need a breather. Deslandes, it's his birthday today, Alex Deslandes. Happy birthday, Alec. So, relatively important point in the context of the game. Vanguard need to score an upwind, and that wind's starting to kick up a tiny bit, and it's 2-5. 3-5 versus 6-2. Pretty big imposition to Vanguard if they can't put this in, and the latter turns out to be the score. Tim Wise looking to pull now. He sends it outside in. I reckon that might be a brick. It's going to sit up well. It is a brick. Called it. That's a brick. 5-2 is the score to Hello Newman. Rex bringing the disc. Hudson going to mark him. Looks like a zone. Looks like a zone. Cook and Ewan gets the early one from Rex to Andy Baddix. Baddix, he loaded up. Back to Cook and Ewan. Elsa, Enting Hawk with it. Swings it right across to Rex. Elsa and Rex working really well. Nunu with the disc now, but it holds it, can't get it off. So, the chance to lock down a little bit gets to Rex right on the sideline. He's right there. Looks for the backhand. Now he wants something else. Oh, really cracking throw by Rex. Nice big backhand over to Matty Smith. Back to Baddix. Baddix now with it. Vanguard in a good shape. Cook and Ewan. Looks a big flick. Looks the break. Doesn't want to break. Goes to Rex. Jody marks well on Baddix to stop the goal. Big hammer from Rex to Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk to Baddix. They've switched the force. Now they're going sideline. Baddix gives up some ground to go to Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk doesn't get it off the sideline. Has to work hard now. Gets it through the cup. Really nice big throw through the cup. That was to Bertrand Lee. Bertrand Lee puts up the speculator. No. Gets the goal. Grundy baited it, but the throw was good enough into the wind. Didn't sit up enough, and Nuno scores the goal. Vanguard execute coming out of the timeout. Did what they needed to do. It's 3-5. Rex, big hammer. Looked like it had a lot on it, but Ailsa was right underneath it, all over it. Moved it straight to Baddix. That was Lee to Nunu. Pretty straightforward stuff. Well done, Nunu. Couple of nice goals so far, mate. Hope you got strong shoulders, Nunu. All right, Baddix. Looking to pull. He was ready. Now he's not ready. Now he's ready again. Inside out pull. Straight down the middle. Very good pull. Man catches. Sent a nice little gainer to Christopherson. Back to Meehan. There was a sniff there for the Vanguard player at one point. Man, backhand to Wise to Christopherson, and a big travel call. I don't think anyone has an issue with that. Even Tim doesn't have an issue with that, so it must have been a travel, but that's tapping in. Just got to get the players to reset. In now. Really nice cut down the middle there. That was Maple Eldred, and I think now this is Valancourt, Molly Valancourt, back to Eldred. Oh, looks for the flick up the line, but it was cut off by Bertrand Lee. Baddix now, no mark, he wants something. Throws the disciplined flick into the middle of the field. Gets it to Wilson Tran. Wilson Tran back to Baddix. Baddix hasn't had a mark on him and he just wants to stick it. Gets to Dignam. Dignam getting poached off a little bit by Calaviotis. And there's a play gone down back in the backfield, but no call. Baddix fakes the flick, throws the inside backhand. That's to Rosler. Back to Baddix. Baddix demanding the play now at the moment. Really marshalling it. He's doing quite well. There's a pick call. Pick called on Lee. I think I've been butchering Lee's name. I think it's Bertrand rather than Bertrand. Any experts? No. No linguists. All right. Baddix in. Force home from DK. Dignam getting sat. Bertie. Right, we'll go with Bertie. Right. Baddix hemmed in now, but he's done well in getting him off the line thus far. Has to here. Oh, really good D from Newman. Wilson Tran had actually gone up the line, had Will done cold, but Baddix didn't see it and put the big flick, and there was enough pressure there. Wise winds up the big one. Christopherson wanted Wise, but Wise didn't turn around. Wise sees it now. Birdie stumbles, gets Wise free. Wise flick, it sits up a little bit, just over the head of his intended target. Baddix goes with the quick break. He wants to throw, and he really demanding the disc at every second pass now. Hits Wilson Tran. Tran back to Baddix, back to Tran. Christopherson's out of gas here a little bit, but there's been a pick call. I don't think that'll affect. Tran had a paddock on Will. Will acknowledges that. He's going to be bringing it in, coming in just behind the disc. Going to have a nice little chat. Calaviotis calling a pick on Dignam, which is interesting because he hasn't been near him all point. But marks him very well there, shuts down the open side cut. Oh, and he then stays in the lane and gets the D. And then sticks it, and it's an awful throw. And he knows it, hands straight up. Good old classic Calaviotis flick turn. But you can't fault the D, really good D. He shut down Dignam's open side cut. Dignam wasn't sharp enough to the fact that he wasn't going with him back over to the break side. Toff stayed on the open side and managed to get the poach D. Vanguard now, Dignam. Calaviotis marks him. He looks for Baddix. Baddix getting marked by David Knight. Hits Wilson Tran. Being marked by Will Christopherson. Wilson looks to break into the corner, can't. Gives half a sniff to DK on after Baddix. Baddix demanding this. Looks for the inside break, can't get it. Looks back to Tran. Tran picks it up. Tran back to Baddix. Baddix over to Dignam. Dignam to Baddix. Holds it. Holds it. Oh, Wise wanted a bid there on Lee. And Lee calls the timeout. Really good defense. Andy Baddix borderline plastic poisoning. Getting every second pass, but to be fair, doing a really good job of it. Though the stagnation in that Vanguard stack just meant that Lee made a good call. Said, no, we're going to chill out here, calm down. And try and get a set play going. Timeout on the field. That's Vanguard's second, I believe. So that's them done for the half. 3-5. So bring it back to 4-5. Keep the pressure on. Hello Newman to continue converting. Around the grounds, we'll see if we can get a score out of... This looks like a... Is it Fish? You can't call them Fishwick, can you? Meraki from Victoria playing Kunyani. Whoever's coming up with these team names needs to take a look at themselves, but yeah. If it's not a Seinfeld pun, it's not a good team name. I think that's the new rule. Oh, that would be... It's Mike Baker's playing on that team, so there's a fair chance they're locals. But we can't actually see a score, so that's not going to be much help to anyone. Yeah, so that's the Vicar playing Tassie over there. See if I can get a score from someone. 8-6 to Meraki, so... Sorry? 8-2. I was probably a bit kind to to Tassie there. 8-2. All right. Tim Wise marking Lee. Lee gets the big disc up, but throws it. Oh, that's not a windy condition throw. Sits it up. DK gobbles it up. And then DK throws an absolute pie. Toff's going to have to contend with the sideline. Toff does excellently. That's a fantastic read. Decides to holster his loose flick. Gets it back to Calaviotis. Calaviotis now with it looking for the flick. That's a lovely... Oh, Eldred. Mabel Eldred, great cut. Calaviotis puts a really nice flick in front, but it had a little bit too much on it. So Baddix is going to take it. To everyone's shock and surprise. Been really marshalling the backfield this game. He's done very well. Calaviotis, that was an exceptional read. It was an absolute pie thrown up by David Knight. Not a great throw, but Calaviotis made it look good. So, Baddix coming in. Baddix unloads a big backhand bomb. Dignam on Wise. Wise has the sit. Wise goes early, and then Dignam could clean it up, but it just got away from him. So, Wise to Christopherson, to Wise, to Calaviotis. He can see DK's free. Man, hit him! Lira goes with the break backhand to Deeks. He just sits under it. And that's the goal. That's out win break. 6-3. Was there a dab? All right, we'll bring DK out of 2015 shortly. Apologies for anyone that had to witness the dab. What are you doing, DK? David Knight. Nice D. Almost a nice D. Actually didn't get anything on it. Dignam had another bite at it, but he was just wrong-footed a little bit. Lost his footing. And you can see DK calling for it. Meehan fakes the flick. Looks over. Big backhand boosh. Sends it. Baddix put in good effort. But by that point, it was all done. DK, easy as you like. Up, win, goal. 6-3. Well done, DK. David Knight out of Castlemaine. Best thing to come out of Castlemaine since Matty Dellavedova. All right. Hello, Newman. Tim Wise with the pull. This one's going to land in. It's actually a really nice pull, really deep pull. Rex sitting under it. Rex catches. Looks to Ailsa, Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk, nice throw to Nunu. Then he unloads a flick nice and early. Really nice grab from, I think that was Matty Smith. Matty Smith with the disc on the end zone line. Count's going to get up, and then Cookie grabs the goal. That's Cookie Newman. Nunu. I don't care, I'm a receiver, I'm a tall boy, but I can jack it too. Turned around, saw Smith streaming deep in good space. Went, yep, that's good enough for me. Well done, Nunu. Ailsa, straight to Nunu, had a look. Lovely shot of that. Nunu putting his back into it. You can do it, put your back into it. All right. Maybe put the hip-hop career on hold. But Cook and Newman ending up scoring the goal. Good composure by Smith on the end zone line. That would have been a heartbreaker had they turned that one over. So, 4-6. Score. Okay, so on the other game, Tassie versus Marakai. They're going to be coming out of half, but Marakai took half 8-2. Back to this game, DK to Georgia Egan Griffiths. Back to DK. Looks like a straight up mark by Vanguard here. They're a bit sick of having it put on them, so fair point. Castrogano working hard, doesn't get honoured. But Cook and Ewan gets the D. Got really nice position in front of Mabel Eldred. And Vanguard have a chance to break. Baddix looks for the break, can't get it. Nice pick up by Wilson Tran. Wilson Tran throws it a little bit high. It's over the head of Ailsa. Enting Hawk. Ailsa's not happy, calls that travel on G. Georgia Egan Griffiths with it now. To Lyra Meehan. Lyra Meehan to Tony Castrogano. Tony Castrogano, he had Greff in an absolute panic, wanted to put it, but by the time he'd worked it out, Dignam would actually put a reasonably good mark on and stop the huck. Grundy came back under, now has it. He wants to send it, but doesn't. Really lazy head check there from Castrogano to get open on the dump. Slack. G looks the backhand. They're still staying in what looks like a straight up. I hope it's a straight up, otherwise it's an awful force. T-Cass gets open on the dump, comes around, wants the flick, gets the low flick, throws to Grundy. Really nice grab by Grundy. Grundy looks at Greff. Nunu bit on the under, and Grundy throws to Hudson. And that's a goal. 7-4. Really good flow. Good call from Vanguard to switch it up into a straight up force. But too good for the likes of Grundy and Castrogano. Both got a couple of flicks out. Nunu bit on Hudson's under. Which meant Hudson can go deep. Okay, so we've now switched. Have we switched ends? No, sorry. Hello Newman electing to play 4 women from the downwind. All right, got hands from both sides. Chris Calaviotis likes to call himself the Greek meat. I'm not sure if that's appropriate. Calaviotis inside out, backhand pull from the near side, so a bit risky. I don't know if it's going to turn over. It does, it stays in. Rex catching the pull to Enting Hawk, to Nunu. Is he going to send one again? He thought about it, he wanted it, but he didn't. Back to Rex Johnson. Rex Johnson hits up Anna Rosler. Then to Rex, and Rex goes and puts one, and it's Lee. Oh, sorry, is it Lee? I think it is. And Calaviotis grabs it, Nunu, and then Nunu throws a nice goal to Maddie Smith. It was Lee getting the nice grab long. Long game starting to play out here. 5-7's the score. Vanguard keeping touch. It is now gone to 4 gents, as called by Vanguard. Hello Newman allowing Vanguard to release a pressure valve there a little bit. There's 2 points and 2 offences in a row now where they've just looked and shot it. No turns. A goal within the probably first 6 passes. Rex puts up, good read by Lee. Lee to Nunu. And then Nunu to, I believe that's Madeline Smith. Yep, upwind Hawks, they're not afraid to put it. To be fair, Nunu's looked a fair bit cleaner than Rex's, but it was a good read by Lee. Made it look good. So we are on Twitter. We are trending. Hashtag AMUC2017. If you got any thoughts on the game or want to get any score updates, let us know. Really nice pull. I think that was Baddix. Georgia Egan Griffiths to Christopherson to Wise. Wise looking. They look like they're still playing that straight up one-on-one defense. Wise to Egan Griffiths to Christopherson. Christopherson now sits, holds. Castigliano's starting to work now. He's going to start to work Dignam over. He's got a good anaerobic capacity. Which means he's a tank. David Knight, great cut by Wise, and they all want to go long. Wise puts a nice one, sits it up, but it's too far. Out of Georgia Egan Griffiths' reach. And there's a call. There's not a call. Not sure what that was about. Enting Hawk with the disc. Enting Hawk looks to Baddix. Baddix back to Enting Hawk. Nice little give go. They're going to run that all day. Hello, Newman. Take notes. And a Rosler. Oh, Katie gets done up the line, but they didn't look at it and they didn't see, but it was picked up by Tran. Saved the day. Back to Enting Hawk. Back to Tran. Enting Hawk again up the line. Then throws a nice little leading pass. Is it going to stay in? It won't. It's a turnover. Also really punishing up the line. Her and Rex working really well. Andy Baddix coming back for a few points here and there as well. So, Egan Griffiths brings it in from the sideline. Jacks it straight away. Wisey planted the foot and went long. He's going to have to contend here. It's going to be a competition. Wisey boxes out really nicely. And then he sends the backhand to Helen Newman. She's going to have to deal with Elsa. Katie's got the sip, but Elsa, really nice D. Stayed with her. Katie's shagged. She's spent. Why wouldn't you be? Elsa's just been smashing it up the line at all point. Baddix bringing it in. Both Elsa and Katie sucking in the hard ones. It's been a real good match up this point. Baddix looks for the inside break. Can't get it. Over to Elsa. Elsa to Tran to Lee. Lee to Tran. Tran to Elsa. Bobbles it. Kept it. Back to Tran. Couple going deep. It's Dignam, and it's Baddix, and Baddix gets the catch right on the end zone line, 1 metre. Dignam catches the goal. Probably the worst one-on-one mark-up from Hello Newman we've seen this point. Vanguard doing really well with their work rate, but every throw there were 2 or 3 free, and the goal was much like the rest of the point. Really big separation from Dignam. 3 or 4 metres clear. Longer point. Vanguard hold out despite the smaller roster. I think they've got 13 here, Mike, is that right? 13 here. Geez, good luck to you for that. 3-day tournament, 13 players. Great D from Elsa. Katie had to stop and prop. Managed to keep it. Nice put. You see there, both Dignam and Baddix, 2 to 3 metres deep on their players. Ooh, was that a break? Six, 7, right. I suppose if anyone should know, it's us, Mike, but it's hard. It's a hard gig. All right, so we're going to go with 6-7. Reasonably short pull. Man to Jodie Palmer, we called her name. Man looks for the flick, does a little 360. Back to Palmer. Oh, man gets open really well on the up the line, but Palmer puts it out of bounds. Man balked, got it up the line, was free as a bird, but got to stick it inside the field. Baddocks looks at the inside, break backhand. Can't get Nunu. Thornton picks up the D. And Grundy looks the flick, throws the flick. And Calaviotis in a paddock. Easy as you like. Was there... No, it's a goal. Right. And that would be half-time. So we'll see if we can get someone from Vanguard to have a quick chinwag with us during or after half. 6-8. Probably not bad for not a bad second quarter from Vanguard. It looked like it could have blown out there at one point, but they've managed to pull it back to 8-6. First half, things we wanted to see. Obviously, this is the goal that we just seen to take half. Grundy throwing the flick. And Calaviotis getting quite deep on Dignam there. Man was also there for the scraps, but Calaviotis said, nope, I want some stats this weekend. I reckon he had to have half an eye on MVP, Calaviotis. That's how much he rates himself. So, AMUC 2017 is the hashtag. It's trending. Calaviotis. This was a really nice flick goal to Greff. That was one of the first goals of the game. So we'll come back after the half-time break. In the meantime, please enjoy the highlights from the first half between Vanguard out of SA and Hello Newman from Victoria. Welcome back for the second half. Hello Newman have pulled a brick. Tim Wise shaking his head, so I'm gathering that came from his hand. Greff looking at him with disgust. Greff, mate, as if you'd pull it any better. Anyway, all right. Enting Hawk getting marked by Egan Griffiths. A couple of double barrel names that I love to call. All right, Enting Hawk sits on it for 5, looks to Rex. Rex tries to get open, but Tony Castragano does a really good job. He's energised, he's pumped up, coming out of half. He's Tony. Gets it to Andy Baddocks. Andy Baddocks getting marked by Wisey. Enting Hawk, nice pick up by Lee. Looking for Nunu, can't get it. Baddocks with the disc. Lee looks, Baddocks sticks it to Lee, but Lee had turned around, a little bit of a collision. Nothing malicious in it, but both players are down. Slow to get up. Baddocks stuck a nice throw. But it was just Lee that hadn't actually seen it. Go up, he'd cut, but then he thought Baddocks had looked him off. But Baddocks actually went, mate, I like that one, I'm going to stick it. So as you can see, he's gone. Lee's looking left, should have looked right, and then I think they just catch each other's feet. So, Castragano bringing it in to Johnson. Castragano to Knight. Knight looks over to Meehan. Meehan, geez, streaming, and Meehan says, no. Now Tony's streaming, and then Meehan says, yep. Tony gets it. He jacks the big flick. That's going. That's halfway back to Victoria, Tony. But Egan Griffiths grabs it. How good's that? What an absolute jet. That had genuine heat coming out of it. But it had a nice bit of outside in, which meant it didn't go out the back, out of the hand. That was an absolute rocket. TCAS. That's why he doesn't worry about leg day. All upper body from him. Hello Newman, get the first point coming out of half. Which is a break. Good power position. Tony Boosh sends it. And Georgia Egan Griffiths grabs it. Yeah. A couple metres inside the end zone to be fair. Sorry TCAS. Went to torch you there, but that was actually a brilliant throw. You are throwing to one of the best receivers in Australia. I won't say that much. So, AMUC 2017 is the hashtag. It's trending. Vanguard on the upwind side, ready to receive the disc. Grundy's taken the pull off Wise. Said, you're done. So, looking forward to seeing a brick out of Grundy. Greff pulls it inbounds. Bugger. Greff throws to, Johnson to Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk rips the cup that hadn't yet set to Nunu. Nunu jacks it long. Greff gets the D. Cookie was underneath it but couldn't grab it. Greff had baited it. Greff to Molly. Or a high count by Newman. Calaviotis looks, sticks a flick out into space. Nunu had the set, but couldn't get his arm up. DK, great read. Stay put. DK, nice outside in. Backhand to Katie Newman. Hello, Newman. Hello, Newman. Another quick fire goal. Hello, Newman. Have come out, pumped up. 2 quick breaks in a row. Vanguard burned both of their timeouts in the first half nice and early. They might need to do this for the second half as well. And the long game is back on. Nunu actually had a decent sit there. He was wearing DK pretty tight, but DK just had a great read. And then a really nice outside in backhand. Running on to it was hello, Newman. So all of a sudden, after all the hard work Vanguard did to get back and be in touch at half, it is now 6-10. Calaviotis. Shout out to his students who I believe are watching back in Victoria. Calaviotis, a primary school teacher, and showing them how it's done with a nice, very decent pull. Rex Johnson, and it looks like a Z being set by Hello Newman, led by Castrogano on the mark. So Johnson hits Tran. Tran holds it. No count, so I reckon he had it all the time. He looks to Lee. Lee over on the other side of the field. Back to Tran. They're moving it laterally quite well. They're just going to wait and see. Back to Lee. Not a whole lot going on by way of popping. But Lee and Tran working it out between them. Dignam keeps it up on the high side. Moves it back to the low side. Tran, Johnson. Johnson looks for Rosler. Rosler, nice. Throw back into the middle without letting the count set. Lee. Back to Rosler. Rosler now. Now they've been able to lock down, so this one might be a bit hard, but really nice grab. Throw by Tran. By Rosler to Tran. I'll get it there. To Lee. Lee keeping it up on the high side. Goes low side to Tran. Back to Lee. Nice little over the top to Rosler. Toffer had left her. And then looks Rose. Oh! Grundy went up on the bid. The disc had passed it. No call. Very unintentional there, but he did go to try and grab that disc before half pulling out, but not before he left the ground. Anyway, no harm, no foul. Grundy bringing it in. Looks the inside flick. They love that inside flick, and Toff's gone, but Tony says, nah. So Toff comes back under. And Tony says, yep. And then Toff jacks a long one to Thornton, but it's just in front of her. Half a hand goes up from Thornton. Did have a bit of heat on it. But I reckon Thornton knew she could have stuck the juke out. And grabbed it. In any case, we're going to get to see the... Yeah, we're going to have a look at that collision again. Yeah, not your finest moment, Greff, to be perfectly frank. And then this grab here. Ash half having a look at it. All right, Vanguard bringing it back in. Tran on the short side gets it to Dignam. Oh, they collapse in on the pop really well. That was Thornton there collapsing in on Tran. Gets it, pops a little flippy floppy backhand over the top. Lee gets it out to the high side. Maddie Smith. But there's a turnover. Castrogano picks it up quick. Looks for the easy throw to Palmer. Palmer advancing it a little bit to Tony. Tony, flippy floppy backhand over the top, back to Palmer. They've set now. They're just free players everywhere. Ooh, Hello Newman starting to put the clamps on now. The running, the quick break offense. Reasonably innocuous turnover. Not sure what happened, but Hello Newman didn't care. They went, right, we're going to run this. Some fairly garbage throws coming out from Tony. Here we go, over the top. Back to Palmer, and then Palmer. Nice little goal. I think that's Eldred. It's tougher. Chris Calaviotis. Barramundi. Two-time Barramundi. Plays with Heads of State in the open season. And it's been all right thus far. (11-6). Vanguard need a win. They need something to go right. They need to break this zone that Hello Newman have had success on in 2 successive points now. Jeffrey Grundy pulls a brick. I was hoping he'd do it last point, but I had to wait till this point. So let's see if Vanguard can take advantage of this. Elsa Enting Hawk with it. It looks like a one-on-one matchup now rather than the zone. vertical stack coming out from Vanguard. Enting Hawk to Baddix. Baddix shoots the quick fire flick to Nunu. And Nunu grabs it. Lovely throw by Baddix. That was a laser. Laser. So Baddix looking the low flick. On a dime to Nunu. (11-7). Vanguard keep touch. Just some of the picturesque beauty of Tassie on the screen there. I think that's Mount Wellington. I hope it is. I don't know if it's not Mount Wellington. I don't know which mountain it is. That's the only mountain I know in. It is. Oh, look at me. Jules Lund, getaway. All right, Baddix with the pull. Challenging pull. The wind is starting to kick up. He puts it about 5 metres past the brick mark. Jody Palmer picks up. Looks to Lyra Mann. Lyra sticks it to Greff. Greff was always going deep. This looks like a set play. Greff throws to Tony. Oh, Tony almost he made a meal of it. A little bit too cash from Tony Castrogano. And if you act smug on the Frisbee field, that is what you get, and that is what you deserve. Looking a little foolish and sheepish, and Baddix wants to make him pay. Baddix, a lovely backhand put to Nunu. Is it going to stay in? It doesn't. Disappointing, but outside of that, Baddix's put was mint. Out of bounds / mint. Apart from being out, apart from it being a turnover. Not sure how many turns. Baddix has had a lot of the disc, to be fair, but he's also had a fair few turns. Meehan looks for Calaviotis. Calaviotis this time up against Baddix. It's up against the sideline, and he can't pick it up. So a couple of turns now at this point. Baddix again picking it up. Looks for the flick, can't get it. Goes the inside backhand just over Nunu's head, and Greff picks it up. Fatigue starting to set in for these teams now. Multiple turns, and Greff this time to Tony. Tony makes sure of it this time. No carry on from Tony now. Yeah, he's seen. That's the pancake grab. That's how you do it, Tony. So he makes amends despite initially looking like a bit of a turkey. He's all smiles now. Grundy sees out of the corner of his eye, puts a nice outside in flick over the top of the stack. It was always going to be hard for Baddix to get there from that position. Tony says, thank you, Greff. Thank you for giving me a chance to redeem myself after looking like a bit of a peanut. Baddix rocking an awful mo. So we've got Helen Newman pulling from the left. Game advisors today, Ruben Berg and Anson Chun. Haven't really been needed, which is nice. That's the way they want it. That's the way we want it. Not too many calls. Those that have been relatively worked out relatively quickly. So Cookie Nguyen gets to Ailsa. Ailsa to Rex. Zone look from Hello Newman. Rex moves it backwards to Ailsa. Ailsa back to Nguyen. Newman looks, winds up a big flick. But unfortunately, it was just over the head of Matty Smith. And Hello Newman might look to work it quick. DK jogging to the disc. He's going to centre it to Tony Castrogano. Tony is going to hit Lira, despite some really nice tight marking there from Anna Rosler. Hudson gets the under. Looks lovely up the line, but Tony got picked off. Sorry, Rex got picked off by Tony. Just as I'd said, there'd been no chat. Tony kicks them off. Not happy that he had to come back there on the on his up the line, but I'd imagine he'll do it again. So pretty disorganised stack. Tony does go up the line again and gets it, and he looks long. He's going long. It's a bit of a dagger. Didn't have enough on it. Sorry, had too much on it, and Valancourt couldn't do enough to reel it in. So Ailsa jogging it to the line. She's going to tap it in. Hits it straight away to Rex Johnson. The Hello Newman zone hasn't really set yet. Rosler back to Rex. Rex unloads a big backhand. It's DK and Lee, and DK gets a really good position, gets it inside it, and then gets up, and DK is sore, and he stays down. Alrighty, DK stayed down. There was a travel call on the throw, but I don't think this would be a... there's no foul call, is there? Yeah, it's a turn. Yeah. So it looks like it'll be coming in from... let's see if this is a travel. Great camera work, we can see. Ooh. Don't know about that one. I think that's about as planted as you can get, really, isn't it? Can we take one more look at that, Mike, if we get a chance? Lovely put. So Rex gets the give go. Rosler back into Rex. 1, 2. So, all right, he's got one down. You know what? That's as good a huck as you'd like to see in terms of form. I think that one's just fine. But in any case, it doesn't look like there would be any call here. DK got the good sit. He's just stayed down. Can't imagine there's a call, but we're having a quick chat. The disc is in. And there's been an injury sub. Baddix has come on for Rex. So DK has taken a seat, pulled up a bit ginger. It's a 3-day tournament, DK, get ready. All right, Grundy, little backhand into the middle to Castrograno. Thornton had an absolute paddock, but deep, but didn't get it. So Hudson looks for Grundy. Ooh, throws it a little late, but it's okay. Grundy makes it work. Grundy on the far sideline, looks the flick. T-Cass makes an ordinary dump cut, that makes a good one. Grundy threads the needle, lovely little inside-out flick to T-Cass, who was going up the line. T-Cass throws a big floppy backhand, and Meehan had to work for it. That's T-Cass's second blade in the point. T-Cass also a teacher. I hope his kids aren't watching. Hope his employer isn't watching. I hope the principal isn't watching. Hope he teaches better than he throws. All right, that's enough on T-Cass. Ailsa coming in. The zone set from Hello Newman. Ailsa to Cookie Nguyen. Over to Lee. Lee to Baddix. Baddix looks. He puts the big flick out. It's Rosler, but it'd be right on the sideline. I think she's grabbed it just inside the sideline. Centimetre perfect. Back to Lee. The Hello Newman zone catching back up, but Lee with a lovely throw to Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk cuts the zone to Nunu. Nunu in really good position, about 10 metres out right in front. Nunu throws the over-the-top backhand. I think that's Rosler up the back there. Nunu, he can throw. That's a couple of really nice ones this game. They stay in touch. I think that's 8-12. So Baddix is put here on a dime. Probably a little close to the sideline for comfort, but really nice grab as well. That disc was dying quickly in the downwind. And then Nunu. Tidy little outside in backhand. Rosa was up the back. Alrighty. Can Vanguard get a break? Can they make this interesting? Tony Castigliano walking past the commentary box. I don't know why he's smiling given that last point. Wasn't your finest. Just flatten out the throws a little bit, bit of blade about it. All right, predictably enough, it was a receiver error. Andy Baddix pulls, again, challenging wind, gets it about 6 metres past the brick mark. Tim Wise picks up, throws the backhand to Georgia Egan-Griffiths. Georgia looks for Chris Calaviotis. Chris Calaviotis picks up. Katie Newman was in a paddock and he torched her. To be fair, Baddix was baiting it a little bit and working in the deep. So you're seeing a zone look from Vanguard. Dignam on the mark. Wise with the disc. Wise looks at Will, gets looked off. Really nice throw, good grab from Jodie Palmer, gets it back into the middle for Toffa. Toffa looked for the quick throw to G, but Baddix sniffed it out, and now Baddix unleashes a big flick. Wisey's got the sit, he's going to have to compete with Dignam. Wisey gets up, he grabs it. Oh, he wanted to send it back with a little bit of interest. Wisey throws a hammer, and that is garbage, as they say in France. Ooh, not his finest. Knew as soon as he threw it. And we're going to have a very brief break while someone does some run and repairs. All right, Baddix picking it up. Calaviotis marking him. Baddix, Borks, looks at the inside flick, goes the outside flick. But it sits up, it catches a bit of air, and it is straight out. Lee was looking for some party tricks. But with the greatest, but that was well gone. So Hudson brings it in, looks for the flick dump, can't get it, goes the overhand, backhand to Wise, Wise to Calaviotis. Calaviotis through to Christopherson. That cup is too loose from Vanguard, they're slicing it. Hello Newman. Will Christopherson through to Toffa, Toffa to Cron. Cron looks to G, G wants to throw to Will, doesn't. Baddix got a lot to do in the backfield. Baddix had to leave to go to the wing, which meant Toffa was all on his own, unfortunately. And Tony Castigliano has just been absolutely torched by the production team for standing in inside the dotted lines. 13-8. Yeah, I hope these mics aren't too sensitive, Mike Palmer. Yeah, copped a little bit of Baddix frustration. Sorry to all of our junior listeners for that. To be fair, though, I would have expected that far earlier in the game. That's right. Andy is an angry man. I'd be angry too if I had to walk around with a mustache like that. It's not even November yet, and he's sporting a pretty thick soup strainer. $13-8. Hello Newman looking to stick the dagger in now. The Tassie vs Meraki game is now finished. Meraki took the half 8-2, so given that they're done now, I'd imagine that there weren't too many changes to that scoreline. I think now was it 15-5? Jack Lewell advises me 15-5. So Meraki off to a good start. They'd be one of the contenders. Hello Newman, Paul. Rex picks up Elsa to Nunu. Nunu looks at, Lee, but Jeff Grundy, great block. Read it. So a chance really to hurt him here. Wisey grabs. Wisey looks at Meehan. Meehan grabs it, goal. Really good really good Greff by block. Really good block by Greff by Jeff Grundy. Lee saw a really good option to be fair, but Mr. Grundy got his hands in the way. So Nunu, it was Nunu, was it? Sorry, it was Nunu. Looked at the backhand put. Greff got the jukes up. Nice heads up play. Wise took the grab. And then a really nice flick, sitting up. There were two there, lining up. Liam took it ahead of Valancourt. Ruben's dabbing. So Ruben's worked some modern day, or semi-modern day bant into the advisor repertoire. (14-8) to Hello Newman. For those just joining us, Hello Newman named after Katie Newman on the team. And a special shout out to Polly Newman, who has advised us she's tuning in from the States. Hello, Newman. If your team name ain't Seinfeld related, it ain't any good. All right, Hello Newman. TCAS with the pull. Reasonably solid. It's going to land inbounds. Rex grabs. Quick throw to Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk to Nunu. Sits a little bit up, but it's all right. Nunu looks big flick. Fake. Enting Hawk. Back to Rex Johnson. Johnson. Oh, Grundy baited one. Cooking Newman. Newman to Rosler. Rosler to Baddix. Baddix being marked by Castrogano. Baddix engages Enting Hawk. She wants to go up the line. Enting Hawk been fantastic up the line all game. I think Man's starting to anticipate that now. Cooking Newman. Looks for Rex. Rex gets out of there. Oh, really nice. Threading the needle. Nguyen to Enting Hawk. Enting Hawk. Looks like Lee. Lee to Rosler. Rosler to Nguyen. Nguyen, nice backhand. Really good flow by Vanguard here. Rex throws the wide one. But it is a turn. There was a pick called. Now the question is, was it before or after? The question that hangs off that is, should it matter? But we won't go there. It's date. Yeah. Yep. Very tough here. So, get out of jail free card for Vanguard. All right. Rex restarts. Nguyen in the dump position, being marked by Newman. Rex, lovely little low release throw. Broke the mark, broke Palmer on the mark. And it looked like Lee that took the goal. 14-9. So, if Vanguard are to win this, they'll be doing it on D. From now on, Hello Newman, one more goal to win it. Johnson just caught Palmer napping. Palmer didn't think there was anything to break to. And a really good grab, to be fair, by Nunu. It wasn't. Oh, it was Lee, sorry. Bertie Lee. Yeah, I've got him listed down as Lee. Bertrand or Bertie Lee. So, if I get your name wrong, blame your team captain. I'm getting the team list off the team captain, so if they butcher your name, I've got no chance. All right. Hello Newman, looking to notch up their first win of the tournament. They'll be doing it upwind on this point. Vanguard will need to put in 5 breaks to send it to double game point. Sorry, to win the game, 4 breaks to send it to double game point. It's been done before, it'll be done again. Will it be done now? Let's find out. Baddix with the pull from the middle of the field, inside out backhand. That's not going anywhere but in. Grundy picks it up on the end zone line, right in the middle. Nice pull to Palmer. Palmer looks to Calaviotis. Junky kind of look here, pretty bold call. Greff to Thornton to Calaviotis. Calaviotis looks for the winning goal to Hello Newman. Was it ever going to happen any other way? Hello Newman win the game with a goal from Chris Calaviotis to Katie Newman. And that is the game. Strong start from Hello Newman. They're here for a good time, but they'd also be tipped to finish top 8, and they start their campaign off well. Positive signs from Vanguard as well. Had some good moments. Unfortunately, lost momentum and a couple of points there and allowed Hello Newman to pull away, put in a couple of quick breaks. Special thank you to the advisors, Ruben Berg, Anson Chun. You didn't need to do much, and that's the way we like it. Perfect, they're happy. Get to don the yellow and do bugger all. Thank you to the production team. First game, we're doing reasonably well. So we are on Twitter, we are trending. AMUC 2017. That's it for now. We'll be back in about half an hour's time. We'll be here in a game. Yeah, we'll be back for another game. We get one more game, Mike, do we? Yeah. We'll work it out. We'll go hit the cans, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Alti.tv